Okay, I'm actually going to start out with my amp. This is my Princeton. It's a 79 non-reverb Princeton. So because it's a 79, it has, I guess, less tubes and one less gain stage, because I guess in a Princeton reverb, you get an extra gain stage with that reverb part of it. So this sucker is basically clean from 1 to about 6 or 7. That's when it starts to get a tiny bit of hair on it, but it doesn't get much. Like I definitely couldn't rely on this to give me enough overdrive or gain in a live situation. And then I have, right now I've been experimenting with doing like a dual cab type deal. So I'm always running the 10-inch speaker inside the Princeton, but then I have a 12-inch speaker inside this GT cab. This G cab is open back. It sounds pretty good. The 10-inch speaker and the 12-inch speaker sound really good together. I've been very pleased with it. And then over here, for outdoor shows, for bigger stuff, I've got this 71 Super Reverb. And it is pretty much just a clean machine. I normally don't run that too hot because it gets so loud. So yeah, this is what we got. These are my two workhorse amps. Got rid of a bunch of other stuff recently, but this is mainly what I gig with these days. And so we're gonna move into the pedal world here. So right here, the signal chain, I'm gonna go down the signal chain from beginning to end. Right here we have this CEA Custom Audio Electronics, I think it's called, wah. It's I keep it on the classic wah setting. And I'll give you guys a sample what that sounds like. Let's see. So there's a boost switch. We normally usually keep that on. It was off. I'm not sure why that was off, but anyway, it has a boost switch on it, and I keep the volume all the way down for that boost switch. It just gives it a nice little bit of extra gain. And then I run that, let's see, I run that into this M5, which has the growler setting. Probably click this on because this is always on. I pretty much always keep this side of this pedal on, so. Yeah, it's a nice synth sound. It's got like a Q filter mixed with some kind of you know, sub octave. Alright, so back to my basic signal. By the way, this is where, it's pretty much where I live. It's just this like, it's just this pedal right here as a boost. And I pretty much just keep this boost on all the time because it gives it a nice fatness, a nice dirty sound. It's not too dirty, you know. So out from this, I'm running into the SP compressor, which is used for, you know, a lot of people turn these on and just leave them on all the time because they sound so sweet. But this guy, I use it for, I've always used compressors for like really kicking into the stratosphere. I had a guitar teacher who used to tell me, you know, if you ever want to cut above everybody else and take a soaring lead, you want to click that on. It makes a fair bit of noise when you keep it on. That's because I keep it on the high settings here. I'll show you what that sounds like. So this is like my... That's with it off. Here's with it on. Now I'll switch pickups here. that feeds back nicely, and it just like compresses everything and just sends me soaring. That's always how I've used compressors. I've experimented with using compressors like always on, and I came from using the Boss CS3 for a long time, and I switched over to the SP probably 5 years ago, and it's been serving me really well. I love the sound of this compressor, and as dirty as it just sounds like this, it's actually a lot cleaner because it's maxed out. The compression is maxed out right now. It's on the high setting, and I have the blend turned all the way up. So this, I just got this. This is the subbing up. So this is for a nice like you know, some funkier stuff. So. Little bit of low end there, nice little floor, and sometimes I'll turn it on this setting. I really like this setting. So that's like one of their tone print settings that I've loaded into this. What's so cool about the TC Electronic pedals, these two guys, is it has this tone print thing where I can take my phone and I can search different tones on the app, on the Tone Print app, and I can hold it up. You push a button, you hold it up to your guitar pickup, and it makes this awful like 56K dial-up tone, and it reads the chips inside this read or hear the encoded message that comes through the pickups from my phone, and it will like be like, oh, you want this preset, you want the so-and-so preset, and they're like all kinds of artist presets and stuff, so they're really cool like that. And I actually use a tone print on my Flashback as well. I pretty much keep the tone print on all the time on my Flashback because it's a nice tape analog delay, but we'll get to that. I got this Phase 95, and this is where it starts to get a little weird. This is where I keep it on like the low setting, the Phase 45 tone they call it. It's about half as strong as the Phase 90. So it's got like this nice like slow phase, and then I have this fat Gibson knob, this Gibson speed knob with like these ridges on it that I took the original knob on it because it was super tiny, and I put this big fat knob on here that I can manipulate with my foot, which is something that I like to do on the fly. Like while I'm playing, I like to turn shit up. So I might turn this up in the middle of the song and just, you know, give like give a nice like organ sound, gives a nice change of pace, or it gives a nice you know, something different to hear during like a bridge, you know, and it does have this really nice, to me it just sounds like a Leslie or something, this nice whirling sound. And then I can take my toe and turn it down like this. Yeah, something a little more Floydy sounding. So yeah, that's that. I love this pedal. I don't think I could go without one of these ever again. It's so essential for me, and it's just like, it just really can bring a song to life to switch over into you know, a different sound like that. And sometimes I can just leave it on real low. I'll use my toe and I'll turn it down real subtle, so it can be just like a subtle. Is like, I didn't turn the amount of phase down, I turned the speed of it down, and it'll, like, there's a little blinking light on there that'll show me how fast it is too. So it's nice, so I can look down at it at a moment's glance and tell how fast this sucker is going. And something that, I don't know if you can see, the camera picks it up, but I put tape over the lights of a lot of my brighter LEDs. I've got tape over this. I like to put tape over them. They're just too bright sometimes, especially on stage. Like if I look down, the LED is so bright that it like blinds me. I'm not going to be able to see any pedals around that LED. So I do put tape around some of the brighter lights that I have. And so then we go into the overdrive, or the gain that I use here. This dirt pedal is the JHS Andy Timmons, the at pedal. And like I said earlier, it has a boost side on it, but this side is like a distortion side. And what I like to do is just, I leave the boost side basically on all the time, unless I'm going over to overdrive, in which case I kind of smash both of these at the same time to get sometimes they need a little more, so I can click that boost on. But if I'm soloing with this on, what I'll do is, like the heavier gain side. Oh, by the way, it doesn't quite clean up, but this is about as clean as it gets. It doesn't clean up all the way. Like this side kind of picks up where this one leaves off. And what's so cool about this is it has two EQ knobs. This is your basic, like, high pass, EQ filter, and then it has this presence knob. It's called air. And if I'm playing through an amp like this that has a lot of brightness, even when you turn the bright cap off, you can turn the air knob down and it'll sound Marshall-y again. It'll sound a little bit darker. It takes some of that harsh high end off, and it's basically just a presence knob. So yeah, so I can go from this to this. Turn this back on. Sounds so sweet, but more often than not, what I'll do is I'll have this on and I'll use the compressor. For whatever reason, I like the sound of the compressor. It actually, what can happen is, like, if I do both of these, it gives me the sustain that I need most of the time. But like, if I use this side with the compressor, then it gives me sustain no matter what. It just gives me just this crazy sustain, and it boosts me into flight. So next we got the big Muff, and I absolutely love this Russian Muff. It's a reissue of the Russian Muff. Sub and up pedal, but it's just like this nice thing. Here's what it sounds like without the boost. big muff. We know what a big muff sounds like. We know what it should sound like. It sounds like a big muff. And then we got this chorus ensemble. This was a gift from my friend Terry. Sounds like some nice like 80s, 90s chorus. And then what I like to use that for is I'll do the solo for Black Hole Sun. So gnarly when it's heavily distorted. And so next from this we go up to, looks like we're going to the pitch shifter delay. This is where we start to get a little weirder. I've had this sucker for a long time. I went into Foley's Music in Morgantown, West Virginia, and I said, give me the weirdest pedal you got. I want some really weird sound, something kind of obscure. And they gave me this pitch shifter delay, the Boss PS3, and it was a pink label. And it just has this, I have it set up for this like subtle like pitch shift delay. And it adds this like little giggling kind of shimmery high-end thing. Tune up real quick. That's another handy thing about this M5 is it's got a built-in tuner. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to see it on stage, but it is very handy to have a tuner attached to this thing. I usually like to use a headstock tuner. All right, beautiful. And so anyway, yeah, pitch shift delay. Throw a little bit of this on. And then next up we've got the Flashback, which I have set to like a tape analog delay. It's set up kind of like a Roland space echo. And what I'll do is I have this rubber piece fitted over the repeats knob, which, like, you know, I can go into infinite repeats right here, or I can, you know, turn the repeats down to 1. So makes for some clean soloing there. But if I want like a wash, if I want a nice wash, then I'll turn it up, and I'll use my foot for that. This rubber piece that's over this knob, it's to use my foot. And I'll use my foot to control that, and so often what I'll do is I'll end a song on like say it ends on like an A minor, so I'll be like, and it emulates that tape like feeding back into itself, and it just like goes on and on and on. It sounds gnarly. I love that. And then next up we have the Holy Grail reverb set to spring. I got the ditto looper right here, just in case I want to do some repeats in a song. But really, it's, you know, I like, this is handy. This is just handy to have. This is a Swiss Army knife. You can do really cool stuff with these loopers, like, again, like repeats in a song, or you could do like you know, like if you want to do a one time, like, or just kind of like Trey Anastasio style, or if, you know, if I want to use it to practice something, boom, it's there on my board. And then I've got this Mesa Boogie stowaway input buffer, and this is what this does, is it buffers a signal. I've got all these crazy connections right here. Some of these pedals are older than others, some of the connections are not as strong, and I use all my cables here are MXR patch cables, and they're all very reliable. I really love these MXR patch cables. I haven't had one fail on me yet. But some of these inputs on some of these pedals, especially like this one, they can be a little bit shoddy. So I had this guy set up to kind of mitigate any of that signal loss and kind of like, you know, give me more of my full guitar fatness and tone back. So that being said, I'm going to show you guys a couple tones that I like to use. Yeah, you gotta love that growler tone. And then sometimes I'll throw in just a touch of that like crazy feeding back delay inside of a song. So yeah, this is the pedal board, and I'll show you. You know, most often, if I need to, you know, go from, you know, a rhythm part and go into like an overdriven or like a soaring lead, I'll rely on my compressor. So I could click this on instead and get like a searing lead with both of these on, but like sometimes I don't want that. Most of the time I don't want that 80s overdrive lead tone, so I don't use that as often. I'll show you one more thing. I'm going to show you under the board. Pop the hood real quick. How am I powering this? I have two power supplies underneath of this, run off of one cable. So this is the Syaux DC7. All of the outputs are really high. All of them give me like 500 mAh of power. And then this DC7, you can get this auxiliary DC8 pedal power and run it to that. So there's a special cable that you can run it to this auxiliary DC8. And so I have, I mean, you can see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 things powered here with this board, with these Ciox pedals, pedal power. So yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool to have like each pedal have its own power supply. It each has its own out. And my cable management is kind of nuts under here because I just put this board together. So I'll probably straighten that out here soon enough. But anyway, yeah, this has been my rig rundown. I'll show you my guitars real quick. This is my Ernie Ball Music Man Stingray. This is pretty much number 1 right here. I just got it back from the shop. Had some issues with the pickups. I guess the stock Ernie Ball pickups don't play well with other brands of pickups, so that was kind of a bitch to figure out. I ended up just fixing it myself. And this is my newer guitar. This is the Charvel Pro Mod DK24. Got 24 frets on it. Nice floating trem if I want to do some stuff with floating trem. All right, got that going for me. And it also has like higher output pickups on it, so if I want to really shred, that I can do that. And then this is my oldest guitar that's still, in commission. This is really sweaty and gross from Deutschtown. I gotta clean this thing off. This is my Fender Strat. It's a Mexican Strat, Fender Deluxe Player Strat. I've had it for a long time. I've had it since high school. It has a unique bridge in it. It's got a brass tone block. I had somebody gave me a unique bridge for it, and it just sounds so good. It has the noiseless pickups in it. And I got one more guitar. It's in the case real quick. I use, by the way, I use mono cases. I love mono gear. My pedal board is made by Mono. Got my SGJ. It's actually like an SG Junior that's just been, I don't know. They just modified an SG Junior, but it's got the Duncan 59 pickups in it. I love Duncan 59s. And then, I modified these knobs down here to make them a little less easy to move. I kept accidentally bumping tone knobs when I was going for the volume. So I made these less easy to move and these more easy to move, but have these grippy knobs on here. And then I put a Babix bridge on here. It's a full contact bridge made by a company called Babix. And this bridge, I don't know if you can see it, but it lays completely flat on the guitar. It has these like metal pieces that you stick in there, and it lays completely flat on the body so that there's full contact, full resonance from the bridge into the body. And it gives it just this really nice, bright, brash tone. It just, it can sound like a Tele, it can sound like an SG. And because it's got 24 frets, the pickup is down a little bit lower, so it sounds a little throatier, a little strattier, or a little bit more like a single coil. And that might have something to do with these awesome Duncan 59s. I love these pickups. I'm thinking about putting them in the Ernie Ball, to be honest with you. All right, so that's pretty much it. I don't think I missed anything. I have some acoustic guitars. Yeah, this is my electric guitar rundown. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. A few people said they wanted it, and they'd be interested in watching it. Sorry it went a little bit long, but I love you guys, and yeah, keep rocking on. I love building pedal boards. I really do. And that's why, I've gone from a simple board to like a big board back to a simple small board again. I keep doing different kinds of pedal boards because I just love building them. I've been doing it for a long time. I've been building pedal boards basically since I was 14 or 15 years old. So, wow, coming up on, what is it, like 20 years building pedal boards, which is crazy. And it's hard to do, it's a challenge every time. I run into challenges every time. And then this yesterday, I put it together, and then I figured out that I want the M5 at the beginning of the chain. So I put the wah first and then right into the M5. And I had to move everything around. I had to basically take it all apart and do it over again. But all right, I'll see you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.